Russian officials said Tuesday a Ukrainian drone attack killed one woman and injured 9 others in the city of Kursk. According to Associated Press, the regional government also said the attack damaged residential buildings and an ambulance garage. Russia's defense ministry reported Tuesday that its air defense systems downed 115 Ukrainian drones over 5 Russian regions. Most drones, 109, were downed over the Kursk region on the border with Ukraine, where Kiev's forces still hold on to a patch of land. The Russian Investigative Committee claimed the drones were stuffed with striking elements to cause maximum damage to civilians.
Следственным комитетом России возбуждено уголовное дело о террористическом акте по факту атаки украинских вооруженных формирований на город Курск. По данным следствия, сегодня ночью украинские боевики, используя беспилотные летательные аппараты самолетного типа, массированно атаковали жилые дома в городе Курске. Попадание беспилотного летательного аппарата пришлось и на станцию скорой помощи. В результате совершенного преступления погибла женщина, еще 9 человек получили ранения. Кроме того, серьезно повреждены жилые дома, другие гражданские строения и более 10 машин скорой помощи. При осмотре мест происшествия военными следователями обнаружены фрагменты летательных аппаратов, а также поражающие элементы, которыми были начинены взрывные устройства для причинения максимального урона мирным гражданам. По изъятым предметам назначена взрывотехническая судебная экспертиза. В ходе следствия будут установлены и привлечены к ответственности представители вооруженных формирований Украины, причастные к данному преступлению.
Most of the military facilities belonging to the terrorist organization Hezbollah in southern Lebanon have been handed over to the army. The Times of Israel reported this, citing sources in the organization. 190 of Hezbollah's 265 military positions south of the Litani have been handed over to the Lebanese army, the source said. The publication writes that the ceasefire that ended the conflict between Hezbollah and Israel, which lasted more than a year, on November 27 last year, stipulated the deployment of only UN peacekeepers and the Lebanese army in the south of the country. The agreement required the Iranian-backed terrorist group to dismantle its remaining military infrastructure in the south and relocate its militants to the north of the Litani River, located about 30 kilometers from the Israeli border. Recall that on April 9, Reuters reported that Hezbollah's leadership would soon begin talks with Beirut on the organization's disarmament. On October 8, 2023, Hezbollah began launching near-daily rocket and drone attacks on northern Israel in support of the Hamas terror group, a day after its massive, deadly assault on southern Israel. The attacks forced the evacuation of 60,000 northern residents, killed dozens of people and caused significant damage. Israel hit back with airstrikes, and by September 2024, the conflict escalated into open war, during which Israel decimated Hezbollah's leadership and stockpiles. The war ended in a late November 2024 ceasefire, which has largely held despite mutual accusations of violations. Under the agreement, Israeli forces were to withdraw from southern Lebanon while Hezbollah was to remove its military infrastructure from the area. Troops remain in 5 points deemed strategic by the Israeli military. Israel also maintains the right to strike targets that pose an imminent threat. In recent days, some Hezbollah officials have signaled a willingness to discuss the group's arsenal with the country's government. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, a US-backed former army chief whose election in January ended a 2-year impasse, has vowed to seek a state monopoly on arms. Ukrainian Air Force has launched another airstrike in Russia's Kursk region. The footage was shared on Telegram channels. A MiG-20 fighter jet belonging to the Air Force struck warehouses where various types of drones and their spare parts were stored with the French-made AASM Hammer bomb, which is distinguished by its high accuracy. As a result, an explosion occurred in the warehouses, and the drones located there were destroyed. It should be noted that recently, the Ukrainian Air Force has increased its airstrikes on Russian army positions in Russia and occupied Ukrainian territories. These strikes are usually carried out with Western-made bombs, which are distinguished by their high accuracy and are provided to Ukraine as part of military assistance. Israeli Defense Forces soldiers blew up a 1.2 kilometers long tunnel belonging to the Hamas movement in the northern Gaza Strip. Army's press service released a statement about this. It is reported that near the tunnel, soldiers discovered an arms depot containing approximately 20 explosive devices, as well as anti-tank guided missiles. The Israeli Army press service emphasized that they will continue operations against terrorist organizations in the Gaza Strip. Furthermore, Israel Defense Forces have killed the deputy commander of the sniper unit of the radical Hamas movement in the Deir al-Balah region of the Gaza Strip. The Israeli army eliminated terrorist Ubaida Naim al-Hadhad Musa, the deputy commander of Hamas sniper unit, in the Deir al-Balah region. The terrorist was killed in his car, it said. The Israeli army has struck 90 military targets in Gaza in the last 48 hours. The Israeli army struck more than 90 targets belonging to terrorist organizations throughout the Gaza Strip in 48 hours, it was noted. It was reported that the targets attacked included weapons depots, terrorist groups, and terrorist facilities. Israel's defense minister has announced its military will soon vigorously expand its offensive throughout most of Gaza. Israel Katz also said the Israel Defense Forces had completed the takeover of a security zone in the southern part of the Gaza Strip, separating the cities of Rafah and Khan Yunis. Israel's military also issued evacuation orders for Khan Yunis and its surrounding areas, saying it was preparing to carry out strikes in response to the launch of projectiles from Gaza, which Hamas has claimed responsibility for. Israel resumed its offensive against Hamas on March 18 following the collapse of a 2-month ceasefire. Since then, it has seized large areas of Gaza, displacing hundreds of thousands of Gazans once more. The military has already seized land running along the entirety of the Palestinian territory's borders, which it has characterized as a buffer zone to prevent attacks. The UN's Human Rights Office warned last month that the evacuation orders failed to comply with international law, accusing Israel of not taking any measures to provide accommodation for those affected, or ensuring satisfactory hygiene, health, safety and nutrition conditions. Israel's government said it was evacuating civilians to protect them from harm and from being used by Hamas as human shields in violation of international law.